attitude that she has displayed. She's very focused. She's evidently a good student, both on and off the competition floor. She'll do well, one suspects. 27.5 for Nora Demier. And that has brought us to the end of the first half of set C. So we will go back round again in just a moment or two. A reminder that we still have one more set to come. As if you could possibly forget that we have one more set to come. We've got the reigning world champion in all-around rhythmic gymnastics to feature. We're going to see the Italian squad coming up in the next set. We'll also have action from Lithuania, from Bosnia and Herzegovina, from Israel, from Spain, from Serbia, from San Marino, Romania, and from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. A warm welcome to the European Championships at senior level to Nikola Novakova of the Czech Republic. This is the first time that she's competed on such a stage. She's only 15. She is a gymnast who's shown really good development lately. Nikola Novakova of the Czech Republic, the 15-year-old from Brno, which has an asteroid named after it, and appropriately enough she's been making a pretty deep impact at domestic level of late, which is why she's here. 24.45, the score for Lauren Grüniger. That was a secure-looking debut from a very young athlete.
She may be only 15, but that was the kind of performance that a gymnast gives that is beyond her years. Very secure in the fouette turns, and also some very intricate combination work in her dynamic elements with rotation.
Having started with 26.45 with the ball, now Tamara Artic performs with the hoop. She's the reigning national champion. It is her favourite apparatus, and I think it's easy to see why when you look at that display from Tamara Artic. Very nice work, accomplished and confident. She's already been a senior national champion over 10 times, which is remarkable when you consider that she's still only 18. Really goes for it, attacks the leaps with intensity. Nikola Novakova, 27.9. That's a really nice start from her. We'll see her competing later on with the ribbon in tomorrow's session. Denisa Stepankova from the Czech Republic started with 25.75 with the hoop. Now she performs with the ball. Again, orchestration that reminds us where the next World Championships of Rhythmic Gymnastics are going to be, courtesy of that display from Denisa Stepankova.
She has some really original body difficulties, including the turning split leaps. Notice how she rotates the ball in her hand while she is in the air. That's what qualifies those as body difficulties. Quite secure in the fouette with leg at horizontal. And once again, changing hands with the ball. Here's her combination of illusion turns, 2 of them, and then a small adjustment before she catches the ball with the 3rd illusion turn. Hits a good stag position in the turning leap. Chaîné turns, and the slight rebound of the ball as she catches.
24.35 is the score for Tamara Artic. Representing Croatia, Lana Sambol, who started with 24.8 with the ball. Croatia's Lana Sambol competing at her 5th European Championships. 25.25. The score for Denisa Stepankova. Just wondered, looking back at that display from Lana Sambol, was there a hand that went out of bounds there? It may have done.
Well, she was clearly flirting with the corner at one point, and it's hard to see from this angle, but it does seem that she might have put her hand just out of bounds. But that was only one part of the routine. There's some really nice work in what she does. Again, her balance is just terrific.
Representing Finland, Elizabeth Jamil, the reigning Nordic champion with the ball. You have to work very hard to not enjoy Elizabeth Jamil's gymnastics. She is a very impressive performer, and she's got some lovely, verging on unique touches to what she does artistically.
Several of her combinations are things you just don't see from other gymnasts. And you're right, Ollie, it's just such an easy routine to watch. Beautiful chaîné turns, but done with flair and with the arm over her head. And then the one-armed front walkover combined with a small throw of the ball.
It is easy to watch, you're right, and I think what makes it easy to watch is you feel as though you're watching a performer who knows they're in control of what they're doing.
It's clearly really well-refined work and highly polished.
Just has to make a little adjustment in the backwards walkover catch, but it's all quite well composed and part of her routine. And then she moves into these very nice fouette turns in passe.
And done from a turning leap in stag. That is the kind of combination that we just don't see from a lot of gymnasts.
Little readjustment just to secure the trap at the end, but all in all, yes, very enjoyable gymnastics from Elizabeth Jamil. And her difficulty is not enormous, but her sense of polish is. 24.8 for Lana Sambol. It's exactly as she scored with the first performance. And a 27.4 for Elizabeth Jamil. Now to Esther Kreitzmann of Estonia. Started with 29.55 with the ball. Very good beginning. Halfway point of the competition for the senior international debutant Esther Kreitzmann, the 15-year-old from the beautiful city of Tallinn. Just a short ferry ride away from Helsinki. And representing that today, we've got Finland and Estonia close by on the competition floor.
This is a marvelously well thought out routine. There's originality and a real personal signature to it. The duet between her and her hoop is really something fabulous.
Once again, the half a dozen or so Finns watching with the flags behind them, making enough noise for the rest of the arena. Good for them. This is Emmi Piiroinen. Finland's Emmi Piiroinen, the reigning champion with this apparatus at national level. 27.95 for Esther Kreitzmann. That has her currently in 12th position in the all-around. Back to Emmi Piiroinen.
And just like with her hoop routine, the more that we watch the slow-mo, the more I think we are going to realize how difficult the work is.
representing Estonia, Adelina Belyaeva. Second performance for her. It's been quite a journey for Adelina Belyaeva. This is her European Championship debut as an individual, but she was part of the group last year, so she hasn't had much time to really acclimatise herself as an individual, and she's done it well.
It's a process, and these things take time. In this routine, notably at the end, there were a few small things that could use some refinement. The time deduction for not finishing with the music, for each additional second a gymnast takes, it's 0.5 of a point, and that's counted in full second increments. But I don't think we can emphasize enough, as you said earlier, Ollie, how difficult it can be to transition from group to individual. It's hard on the body and it's hard on the mind because so many things are different.
And she's done it back and forth, having won a Youth Olympic Games mixed team silver medal as an individual gymnast as part of Team Max Whitlock in Buenos Aires. She was a top 20 performer in the all-around there. Then she became part of the group. She actually did the World Championships in 2019 as an individual, so it's been a real demonstration of somebody who is versatile as an athlete. It's a 28.5 score for Emmi Piiroinen. That has her in 11th place in all-around qualification. Very credible start. The second performance now for Hungary's Hanna Wisner. Score of 26.3 with the hoop. Good recovery after a tough first routine from the irrepressible Hanna Wiesner of Hungary, performing in this shirt. 26.75 for Adelina Belyaeva. That has her in 15th place.
It's a very emotional piece of music, and she carries it off beautifully. Lovely body waves. Rolls over large body segments, and one of the very best side scale pivots in the entire competition.
Poland's Emilia Heichel, who started with a very good score of 30 with the ball. At the same time, that performance was light as a feather and full of substance. She is a wonderful young gymnast, Emilia Heichel. Yes, she had the loss of the apparatus, and it will cost the execution score, unquestionably. However, put that to one side, this is a quality gymnast.
There's so much feeling behind her work. And the choreography, it's soft, it's subtle, but boy, does it draw you in.
And she's a powerful gymnast as well, very physically strong. That's evident from the control that she has in her turns. She was millimetres away from getting that. And that's real athleticism, to get the height in the leaps, to get some back bend into it as well. Yes, sir, you are being followed by a monkey, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think that's the gentleman in charge of the scoring system. The first one, not that one, just to be explicitly clear. Yes, it's not a giant piece of satire. They put somebody in a monkey costume in charge of the scoring system. It was the other person in the lovely suit. Now, an inquiry has been submitted for the score for Esther Kreitzmann of 27.95. So we'll keep you updated on that. Now, still to come, we've got Fanny Pignitsky, who produced a belter of a performance with the hoop to get her campaign underway. She's next up. Then we'll see the Dutch and Norwegian and Swiss gymnasts to complete this set before we go on to set D, the last of the day. And that final set is due to begin in just over 40 minutes' time. So there'll be a break of about 10 minutes or so again between the penultimate and final sets. In the anti-penultimate group, we saw particularly good performances from Zora Agamirova of Azerbaijan. 32 plus for both of her routines. And she was the standout performer in that second group. Well, apologies for the lack of anything that could constitute rhythmic gymnastics right now, but we are just waiting for some scores to be calculated, and then it will be on with the show. You're watching the first day of competition for the seniors at the 39th European Championships of Rhythmic Gymnastics, taking place in Baku, Azerbaijan, on the shores of the Caspian Sea at the National Gymnastics Arena. Not literally, metaphorically, because it is a short journey to the boulevard in Baku from here. It's not quite on the, I say seashore, but it's not strictly a seashore. It's an inland freshwater lake. But there are some of the venues in Azerbaijan that are basically right on the Caspian Sea. The Crystal Hall is the most notable of those, which hosted volleyball at the European Games in 2015, if my memory serves me correctly, and also the Eurovision Song Contest, when Azerbaijan hosted it after winning. 27.95. Esther Kreitzmann's score has not changed. The National Gymnastics Arena is very close to the National Stadium of Azerbaijan, famed for its pillow design, the little almost cushion-like objects that can light up and change colour. It's a very striking venue, and it hosted the opening ceremony to events like the European Games, the Islamic Solidarity Games. It's also hosted UEFA Champions League matches and men's European Championship football for international teams. And sadly, there will be no gymnastics at the forthcoming European Games. It's been such a big part of the European Games, and it was so important in this arena in 2015 at the inaugural European Games, which Baku did a glorious job in hosting. Did the event so wonderfully. Went on to Minsk in 2019, and we do wish Poland the very best of fortune in their organisation of the European Games. The third edition coming up next month. And hopefully, by the time those European Games start, we will have the scores for this event come in, and we'll be able to continue with the competition. It is the score for Hanna Wiesner that we're waiting for at the moment. And indeed also for Emilia Heichel. So we'll be back just as soon as those scores come in. Continued apologies for the very lengthy delay. And we will be back just as soon as we're able to continue the competition. And hopefully we're getting closer and closer to that point. 29.9 the score for Hanna Wiesner. And as an improvement of over 3.5 marks from her first display, that was worth waiting for. 27.55 for Emilia Heichel. And that has her in 13th position in all-around qualification. Hanna Wiesner has gone up to 15th as well, so that's nice work from her. We'll bring you more information on the all-around standings just as soon as this particular group have finished performing. But certainly somebody we expect to be in the mix is this individual. representing Hungary, Fanny Pignitsky. Brilliant start with the hoop, 32.25. What now? It is very clear Fanny Pignitsky is here for business. The gymnast who won the bronze medal with the ball at the World Games in Birmingham, Alabama last year. Let's have a look back at this display.
It's something of an unorthodox start to the routine. She actually does a sequence of dance steps, which are a requirement in every routine in rhythmic gymnastics, but it helps her ease into the routine rather than doing, say, a dynamic element with rotation.
Femke Barhorst of the Netherlands, having started with the ball, she scored 23.8. We cannot overstate just how great it is to have the Netherlands back in international rhythmic gymnastics competition at European Championship level. A whole load of Dutch children have just become rhythmic gymnasts in the last couple of hours, having seen this sport for the first time.
Here is her penché pivot. She had some very nice pivots in this routine, particularly one with the back split position. And that her dynamic balance.
31.7 for Fanny Pignitsky, the fifth best with the ball. And she is looking good from an all-around perspective. Josefine Juel Muller of Norway started with 25.45 with the hoop. She won a bronze medal with ball at the Nordic Championships last year. Well, we may have an issue with the music there for Josephine Julmuller. Not entirely clear at first glance what the problem is.
Gymnasts know that if they do recognize a problem with their music, they should stop the routine, which is exactly what she did.
We'll come back to that, but for now, 25 the score for Femke Varhorst. Well done to her. That's a big improvement of well over a mark from her ball routine. We're going to see tomorrow for the Dutch squad in place of Varhorst for the clubs Anna Werner, the other part of the trilogy of three that they brought to these championships. And we are now fast approaching the conclusion of this third set. Well, it does seem that there have been just a few teething problems with the judges' equipment, which is why we've had a few little scoring delays here and there. We have had that sight that one hopes not to see at any championships, which is people standing behind looking at monitors with a frowning expression and wiggling things around and cables being pushed back into place. So it's never the greatest sign when you see that. But once again, apologies, and we'll get back right away with the action as soon as we have some action. Does give us a chance to appreciate the rather nice light display though. Shine like a star, the maxim of these championships, shortly to be joined by count like an abacus. Maybe even with one, because there do seem to be a few computer issues. It gives us a chance to remind ourselves of the great history of this lovely event, the European Championships of Rhythmic Gymnastics that took place in Tel Aviv last year, where it was the Bulgarian team that won the overall team title ahead of Italy and ahead of the host nation Israel. And the all-around title won by Israel's Daria Atamanov, with Boriana Kalin taking silver and Stiliana Nikolova winning the bronze medal. Sofia Raffaelli finished fourth there, went on to win the all-around title at the World Championships. She also won the hoop and clubs competitions. Boriana Kalin won the other 2 titles, ball and ribbon. And the group competitions, the all-around won by Israel ahead of Italy and Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan won all of the available bronze medals in the group events. They'll be hoping for even more than that at these championships at home. Italy won both of the apparatus titles for groups. Israel winning the silver medal in the 5 hoops, and Spain winning the mixed apparatus silver medal. And in the junior competitions, one of the gold medalists was Daniela Muniz, who we're going to see in the next set, assuming it happens. But great to see that, Daniela Muniz coming through. Her sister Michelle was the champion with the ball as well at those Tel Aviv Junior European Championships. And we had a medal won with the ball by Christina Dragan of Romania, and her sister Annalise will be competing in the next set as well. There's also a very good championships for Poland in junior competition in Tel Aviv last year. Yesterday saw the junior competitions taking place here, and the all-around title was won by Israel, and that's the group event. Bulgaria taking silver, Azerbaijan taking bronze. The 5 balls final, Bulgaria over Israel over Azerbaijan. The 5 ropes final, Bulgaria, Israel and Italy. No mixed apparatus for junior groups in rhythmic gymnastics. They just have 2 routines of single apparatus. And there are some other changes like that when you move from junior through to senior. The length of the ribbon is another of them. And the rope itself, which was discontinued as a senior apparatus over a decade ago now. Now we are, at long last, ready to continue the competition. Representing the Netherlands is Barbara Gallik-Ulstorn. She started with 22.2 with the hoop. From the Netherlands, Barbara Gallik-Ulstorn, gymnast based in Amstelveen in the wider Amsterdam area. Senior international debut for her.
She displays an illusion turn, combined with a large throw of the hoop, second illusion under the thrown hoop, and then finally recatches it with both hands before launching into a third illusion. It's one of the most well-known combinations. And that's a magnificent display of one of the requirements with the hoop, rolling it over at least two large segments of the body. And there, spinning the hoop on its axis, implicating a different portion of the body. And this might be the first time that Dutch rhythmic gymnasts have appeared at the European Championships in 20 years, but the Dutch are, of course, heavily implicated in other forms of gymnastics. This summer in the Netherlands, there will be the World Gymnastrada, the largest festival of gymnastics. People around the world come, and it will be quite something.
And it was watching that actually made Berta Mikel of Andorra want to become a rhythmic gymnast, watching the World Gymnastrada. So it has a huge reach as an event. It's a wonderful event. Representing Switzerland, a gymnast who's demonstrated they're really on the up at the moment, Nora Demier. Started with 27.5 with a hoop. Very goal-oriented young athlete, Nora Demier. She's thinking long-term about Los Angeles in 2028. She's also got aspirations to become a physiotherapist. She's in her first year at the Gymnase Sportétudes.
And she is in the midst of bursting onto the scene, you might say, at the World Challenge Cup in Portugal just a couple of weeks ago. She made the finals with the clubs, and that was nearly unheard of for a Swiss individual. And now here she is performing well at the European Championships, her first European Championships. Rhythmic gymnastics is certainly not unknown in Switzerland, even though they don't tend to field individuals. Switzerland always a huge participant at the World Gymnastrada, and that includes performances in rhythmic gymnastics.
Switzerland has been a nation, hasn't it, for some time that often adopts slightly more idiosyncratic forms of gymnastics, not necessarily the ones that are internationally competed, but they are one of the great gymnastics nations in terms of the variety of gymnastics that goes on there.
Oh yes, they are a huge participant in something called the swinging rings. The still rings, of course, is an Olympic event, but actually Swiss school children practice swinging rings and many other kinds of gymnastics.
21.85 for Barbara Galle-Goldstuen. We just wait for the score for Nora Demier. And still to come will be the other gymnast from Switzerland, Lauren Grüniger. Now, once again, apologies, it's all rather a little staccato at the moment. Can't be easy for the athletes as well, who are waiting backstage ready to perform. Lauren Grüniger is just standing out of your line of sight at the moment from this camera position, waiting to take to the competition floor. The score for Nora Demier, 26.5, down by a mark from her score with the hoop. And we now have the performance of Lauren Grüniger. One half of a promising young Swiss contingent here in Baku, Lauren Grüniger. '16-year-old Lauren Grüniger from Appenzell in the northeast of Switzerland, a beautiful village. She does a lot of masterclasses for young children, and very often the act of teaching somebody something that you are highly skilled in makes you become more aware of your own skill development, and I think it's done that with Lauren Grüniger. She's become more polished through teaching her own craft to younger athletes. So a look back at Lauren Grüniger of Switzerland.
That's a nice move, combining the roll of the ball with the lateral move. changing levels.
The score for Lauren Grüniger is 27.25. Well done to her. That's a big jump from her score with the hoop. And this has been very difficult for the gymnast that you're about to see. She's now having to come back out and will have another go at her routine. Josefine Juel Müller of Norway. The very best of luck to her. Four years in a row, the reigning Norwegian champion, Josefine Juel Müller. A very stylish routine, that actually, very memorable.
What a nice display. Yeah, memorable is the exact word. There's a lot of detail work in this, right down to what she's doing with her fingertips at the beginning and at the end. It was really a harmonious performance, the music lining up so well with the choreography. And of course, above that, when you think about the experience that you'll have at a European Championships, never in your wildest dreams do you imagine your performance being interrupted in the middle of it. And so, I mean, she deserves so much applause for being able to come back from that.
These are the standings so far. Onoprienko on top with the hoop, ahead of Kalane and Nikolova. Fanny Pignitsky from this set very well positioned above the home hope Zora Agamirova. Panayota Litra, the gymnast who's currently in the first reserve position. Just to let you know that we have a score in for Josephine Yul-Muller, and worth waiting for, 27.75. Big improvement from her performance with the hoop by 2.3 marks. So that brings us to the end of this particular set, and we will return in a very short amount of time because competition is due to begin almost immediately with the final set, so don't go too far away. But these are the ball standings at the moment. It's Nikolova in first place, then Varfolomeev second, Kalane in third, with Agamirova in fourth, and the Hungarian Fanny Pignitsky cementing a very good day for her. Best placed in this particular set that you've been watching. We'll be back very soon with more action.